Need to make some last-minute holiday party jewelry? I've got you covered with this super cute Christmas charm bracelet. Hello live wires, Heather Boyd Wire here. Today I'm going to show you how to make some super cute holiday charms that can be used on a bracelet or for earrings. You can even put them on rings. You can get the templates for the charms in my Etsy DIY shop. I'll link it up in the description below the video. Today's featured live wire is Ashley. Thank you so much, Ashley, for sharing your beautiful Christmas tree ornaments in the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. I'll link up the tutorial for this design in the description below the video. And without further ado, let's get wired. We're using 20 gauge artistic wire for the bracelet. We'll start with about a foot of wire and we are going to make our links. Taking your Beadalon bail making pliers, we are going to make a loop and then we'll flip it over and do another loop to make an infinity sign. And we want to finish the wires on the same side. So once we have our infinity sign, we'll remove the pliers and hold it with the flat pliers and bring the wire all the way around. Clip the end so it's quite short. Flip it around, hold it with the chain nose pliers and bring the other end around. Then we're going to clip it and take the chain nose pliers to push in that little pokey end. You don't want it to be scratchy. Make sure you have good flush cutters. And that's the simple infinity chain, and it's quite solid because it's wrapped around. After that, we're going to make a bunch of jump rings. You'll probably need about 12 chain links, depends on how big your wrist is. We'll make a bunch of loops, and I spaced my coil apart so I could get in there with my flush cutters to clip them. Once we have all our links, we will hook them together with the jump rings to make our chain. I'll link up some other tutorials for charm bracelets that you can use if you prefer. So we have our last link, there's our chain, and now we're going to make a hook. I like to make a safety clasp, makes it more secure. And I will link up my classic tutorial for safety clasps in the description below the video. We've folded our wire in half. This is 20 gauge. You can use artistic or German style wire. We made our hook and now we're going to make our little loops inside the hook to turn it into a safety clasp. These are inspired by the classic carabiner type keychain. And they work really well for clasps for bracelets so you don't lose your bracelet. I'm using my precision round nose pliers. I'll link up those in the description below the video as well. They're super handy for making tiny little loops. Now we're going to hold both wires with the chain nose pliers and take one of the wires and twist it around to secure it and clip it flush with the flush cutters. And then we'll bend the wire on an angle and make the loop so we can attach it to the bracelet. Wind the wire to the side where the end is clipped, hook on our bracelet, hold the loop with the chain nose pliers and bring the end of the wire around to catch it in place. Clip it with the nipper tool. Pinch it in with the chain nose pliers so it's not scratchy. And you'll see it just hooks in there to make the chain. Starting with the candy cane, we'll use 4 inches of 20 gauge white artistic wire and 4 inches of red 22 gauge artistic wire. And we're going to twist those wires together. Twist them about 5 times, depends on how big you want your candy cane to be. You can do a little more if you need. And we're going to make a loop in the red wire with our round nose pliers. So bring it around into a loop. This will be at the top of the candy cane. Hold it with the nylon jaw pliers and continue your twist, keeping the wires out at an equal angle so it's an even twist. Now wind that end of the wire around and clip it. Push it in so the ends are flush, and then just simply clip the wire that's inside, just the red wire, and curve the top of the candy cane to make our shape. Adjust it as you need. From there, we're going to take the red wire and wrap it around the white wire. Clip the end flush, pinch in that little pokey end, adjust it, and simply clip off the white wire. Keep it nice and simple. There's the candy cane. The Christmas tree is quite simple. We'll take some green 20 gauge artistic wire. You can buy these in the By the Dozen collection of artistic wires. They come in different gauges and they have some beautiful colors. Taking the end of our chain nose pliers, we're just going to bend it back and forth 3 times to form a simple Christmas tree. Don't worry if the dimensions are perfect. I will link up some templates in the description below the video as well. Bend the wire back and forth to make your simple tree shape. These would make some great little Christmas earrings as well, all of these designs. Continue forming the tree using the ends of the chain nose pliers. This is the Slimline series from Beadalon. Bend one of the wires straight up. Take the end and wrap it around the vertical wire and clip it flush. Pinch in the little pokey end and put a little bead on the top. I was going to put a star bead, but my stars are a little big, so I just put a little metal round bead. Make a loop at the top and pinch it with the chain nose pliers. And there's your super simple tree. The stocking's really cute. We're going to take some 20 gauge artistic wire in the red color and freeform a stocking using the round nose pliers. Bend the wire up. Very simple shape. Curve it around the heel. Take the chain nose pliers and bend it at a right angle at the top of the stocking. Add 3 little beads. I use some small seed beads. Hold it firmly and bend the end around. Clip it flush with the nipper tool. Pinch in the little pokey end. Clip the end to about 1/2 inch. And with the round nose pliers, make your loop at the top. Give it a little press with the nylon jaw pliers. And there's your super cute little stocking. The angel is super sweet and simple, using 20 gauge artistic wire. Probably about 6 inches is fine. I like to cut my wires a little long to be sure. And we're going to make a triangular skirt. Make a little halo at the top with the precision round nose pliers. Bring it across and down around for the head. Using the bail making pliers to complete the circle, bring the wire up for the wing. Form the top of the wing, bring it down. It's a very simple design. Curve the other wire down to make the other wing. Bring it down towards the skirt. You'll want to clip those wires so they can hook around the skirt. We want the wires to be secured so it won't come apart when you're wearing the bracelet. Again, clip the other side. And take your precision round nose pliers to curve that wire around to latch onto the skirt. Pinch in the little pokey ends, and there's your super cute angel. The snowman is fun too. Again, with a 20 gauge artistic wire, starting in the center, we're going to make a circle with the bail making pliers, and then use the next smallest section to make another circle. And use the smaller section of the bail making pliers to make the head, bringing the wires around and across. So you have your 3 circles. Take your precision pliers to bend one end straight up in the middle. Hold it firmly and bend the end around and clip it. Pinch it down a bit. Now get some 22 gauge black artistic wire and wind it around in a coil around the vertical wire. Squeeze it in a bit, clip the end. I've removed it from the wire now, and we're going to form the brim of the hat. So out a little bit, just bring it across so it makes a line at the bottom of the coil. Bring it to the back, and we're going to clip it center back. Give it a little pinch. There's our tiny little hat that we'll put on the vertical wire. Clip the end to about 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Take the round nose pliers, bend it out and around, and the end will just stick right into the top of the hat so it won't twist around. There's your super cute snowman. This snowflake is really beautiful and very simple. Use about 6 to 8 inches of the 22 gauge wire, and using the precision round nose pliers, make a teeny little loop. Curve the wire and make a more kind of ovally shape, almost like a teardrop shape. We're going to alternate these little teardrops with the little circles. These are such handy pliers for this type of work. I highly recommend them. You can get them on Amazon. So we have our little loop in between each of the teardrops. We want to make 6 of each to make a classic snowflake. And the other thing you want to keep in mind is to alternate the direction of the wire. So you bend it to the front and then to the back. And that way your snowflake will sit more flat. So changing the direction of your wire each time you make a loop or a teardrop. Curve it around. I'm just eyeballing the size. You can measure it if you prefer. Before we do our last teardrop, we are going to take our pliers, hold the wire, and bend it straight out at a right angle at the base of where the teardrop will be. Now with the other wire, we'll form that teardrop shape. And this is tricky. We're going to bring the wire below the wire that's bent out. Make sure the ends are even and twist that wire around the wire that's out at a 45-degree angle to secure it in place. Then we clip it. We'll bend the other wire down, straight down the middle. We're going to add a tiny bead to it. And then we want to bend the end around in place. I clipped it to about 1/8 of an inch. And we're just going to bend it around to hold it in place and to finish the wire. Just curve it right around there. Give it a pinch. Flatten it out. You can use your nylon jaw pliers. And there's your finished snowflake. Super cute. For the bell, it's super easy. Just take a small piece of 20 gauge artistic wire. You can also use the artistic wire tarnish resistant brass for this to make it look like a brass bell. I just used the gold. We did a loop in the middle and we're going to bend the wire at an angle to form the bell and then straight up. And we'll do the same on the other side. Bend the wire in at a bit of an angle and then straight up. From there, we're going to give it a little press. Get your bail making pliers to curve out the top of the bell. Flip it around and do the same on the other side. Curve it around and bend the wire straight up. Now we want to twist the end around the bottom of the vertical wire. Give it a clip with the flush cutters. Pinch it in. And we're going to bend it at an angle. Bring the wire around to make a closed loop. Wiggle it so it's centered. And you can hold it and bend the end around if you want the loop to be wrapped. Clip it. And pinch it with the chain nose pliers. Adjust it as you need. And there's your super cute bell. The reindeer is adorable. We're going to put a 4mm miracle bead on some 22 gauge wire. And we want to surround the bead with the wire. This will also hold the bead in shape. So just wind it around the bottom of the bead and then bring the wire straight up. This will prevent it from moving around, and get your precision pliers to make some tiny little eyes. And then bend the wire straight out to the side. We'll do the same on the other side. Try to position the eye in the same place. You might have to wiggle it around a bit to get them lined up, and bend the wire out. The ears are simple. We're just going to bring the wire around. And the same on the other side. Just bring the wire right around to the same side. And from there, we want to bend one of the wires straight up in the center. Hold it firmly and wind the other wire around to secure it in place. Get your round nose pliers to make a loop at the top. This will be how we hang it on the bracelet. Make a centered loop. Hold it with the chain nose pliers and bring the wire all the way around. So now we have a wire going to both sides at the base of where the loop is. You can wind it around a couple of times. Just push it right around there. Those are going to be at the front, and the antlers are really stylized. We're just going to use the end of the precision round nose pliers and make 3 little loops. Almost looks like a little mini Celtic knot or something. We'll make 3 loops to represent the antlers. That's the trick with wire art, is to get it to look right with not necessarily being representational. So these little loops represent the antlers. Wiggle them around and clip it flush. with the nipper tool and pinch it so there's no little pokey ends. All the wires are flush, and we'll do the same on the other side. You'll be able to get a closer look at this in the template book, or I always post photos of the jewelry in the community section if you don't want to purchase the templates. So bring the wires around to form 3 little loops to make the antlers. It's definitely a challenge to make a teeny tiny reindeer, but they're super cute. These would make great earrings. Clip the end and pinch it with the nylon jaw pliers, and there's your super cute reindeer. Now we're going to get 8 inches of 22 gauge red artistic wire, and we're going to make a little gift. So basically we just want to do a box shape, and we're going to bring the wire around at the top. So we have just a basic square, and we want to bring the wire straight down the center. That's going to be the ribbon, and then we're going to bend the wire out to the side in the center, hold it and bring it around to the back, bring it straight across, bring it to the front now. So it's gone all the way around, one full turn, and hold it in the middle and bend it straight down. So it looks like the ribbon is crisscrossed on the gift, and we just need to bring the wire to the back now, push it, and we're going to clip it in the center back. The flush cutters, push it with the chain nose pliers. Now bend the top wire at an angle to form the ribbon. Curve it around with the round nose pliers, and then bring it up again to form the other side of the ribbon, and bring the wire down. So we have 2 little teardrop shaped loops at the top of the gift, which look like a little ribbon. Clip the end flush, pinch it with the nylon jaw pliers, and there's the super cute little gift. For the wreath, we're going to use 8 inches of 22 gauge green artistic wire, and we're just going to free form a bunch of loops. I tried this design by making a coil, and it was really difficult to flatten it, so I'm just going to free form a bunch of loops to go around the outside of the wreath. The 22 gauge wire works well for this. 20 gauge would be a little bit stiff, especially when you're trying to make such a small little wreath. So make a bunch of loops, and then on the last one bend it straight up, and we're going to take the wire and wrap it around to secure it in place. Pinch it in. So we have our basic wreath. Bend the wire at an angle and make a loop at the top. Hold it and bring the wire all the way around. Clip it with the flush cutter and pinch in the little pokey end. Press the whole thing with the nylon jaw pliers, and we're going to make a simple ribbon with the 22 gauge red artistic wire. We're going to make a couple of loops for the top of the ribbon and bringing the ends down on a bit of an angle. You can curve them out if you like, and then bend them back so it looks like there's some little ends dangling down. We're going to wind the wire around in the middle to secure it. And we want to do the same on the other side. And then we're going to put the ends through the bottom of the wreath and then wind them around. We just want to secure it in place. We don't want it to wiggle around, so pull it tight with the pliers. And we'll do the same on the other side. We want to really pull those wires tight, and then you can clip them. With the flush cutters, just get right in there and then push in the little ends and adjust the ribbons so they hang down. And there's a super cute little wreath. Very simple. The 5-point star is pretty straightforward. It's a little difficult to sometimes get the proportions, but basically it's a zigzag. You can measure the sides if you want. I'm just going with the end of my flat nose pliers back and forth to make the 5 points of the star, and you can adjust the position by pushing them around, and they're going to meet at the top. I have tons of tutorials for stars that you can check out as well. This is the simplest style. We're going to hold it, bring the end around. We want to make one full turn and clip it flush. Push in the little pokey end, bend the wire at an angle, and make a loop at the top. Wiggle it so it's centered, clip it, and pinch it in. Super cute star. The music note was an afterthought. I just needed another charm, and music suits Christmas, so we just take a small piece of wire, cut the end flush, make a closed loop. You can also check out the charm bracelet ebook with all kinds of other charms, ideas. Some of them are suitable for Christmas as well. You can really personalize these bracelets. They're great gifts, very unique. Let's bring the wire around. Another closed loop for the note. Clip the end flush. And give it a little press with the chain nose pliers, and there's your simple note. Now we have to attach them to the chain, so I started in the middle. I positioned them so I knew where I wanted them to go, and we're always going to put it in the second loop of each link and try to keep them all in the same direction. Just put it on with the jump ring. We're going to continue along and add all of our charms. There's the finished bracelet. Turned out super cute. And there's a little closer look at all the charms. Thanks so much for watching the video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. The templates are linked up in the description below the video. Be sure to use the coupon code SAVE25 to save 25% when you purchase 5 or more templates, tutorials, or ebooks in my Etsy DIY shop. Be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook to share photos of your wire art and wire jewelry. Have fun with the charm bracelets, and we'll see you the next time.